I haven't made a video in a while, but that's because I've been busy working on my latest project, my website. But I'm gonna get into that later. Right now, I'm just gonna show you a couple of different clips of the things I was doing throughout this past couple of months during the winter, and yeah, I had some fun. She keeps telling me I put too much meat. Well.
So what do I do with this? How do I send it?
Happy birthday. Hair fluffed. Got my drink. This is not the right straw for this. I have my teleprompter, well, my iPad with the teleprompter website right here, underneath my camera lens. So, in this video, I want to go over how I made my latest website and share the questions I asked myself to help me design it. I had already had a website through Wix that was pretty basic and was just a shop for me to sell my art prints on, but it wasn't fun and I wanted to be something more than just an art shop with a simple design. Before even opening up a website builder, I sat down and asked myself, why am I making a new website? What do I want this website to be? I want a home for my creative projects and to be able to post online outside of mainstream social media apps and sites. I want a home for my online presence that I get to have full creative control over, and I'm frustrated with the constant changing of algorithms and restrictions with posts and the push of AI on social media sites, and just overall being limited to just a standard image and a short video. Plus, social media sites come and go. There's no guarantee that they'll last until next year, even 10 or 20 years from now. If I continue to have all my online postings and my creative work only uploaded on those sites, they could all one day be gone and I and other people won't have access to them. Sharing my work the way I want is very important to me. Having my own website is great because I get to have a place to post stuff outside of the framework of scroll, watch, like, share. I enjoy the idea of someone looking at my work and actually interacting with it rather than just watching it scroll by. I tried to find some inspiration from websites other creatives made and came across these next couple of websites. 𝘊𝘩𝘪𝘭𝘭𝘩𝘰𝘱 is amazing. I really like how she made her music page. It acts as an archive for herself and also for like sharing albums and disc covers and designs. I recommend checking out her website, especially her scrapbooks. Another website to check out is 𝘊𝘪𝘭𝘭𝘩𝘪𝘥.com. Very nostalgic design for the early days of websites. I for sure grew up with a giant computer desk and a giant Dell desktop computer in my parents' basement. I really enjoy the books page with its utopian scholastic design. Similar to 𝘊𝘪𝘭𝘭𝘪𝘭𝘪.com, they also share their special interests and archive their collections. And an honorable mention is 𝘱𝘳𝘰𝘷𝘪𝘥 for her creative design work. I recommend looking at it on a desktop computer. She mostly shares about Japanese fashion, and overall it's just a fun website to look at, and it feels like a magazine spread. There's a lot of online discussions about wanting to break away from doom scrolling for hours on social media apps.
Have you ever picked up your phone with the intention of checking something really specific, like a confirmation number or the weather, and then just fallen into a 45-minute doom scrolling vortex? Of course you have. That was a rhetorical question.
I stopped doom scrolling for a month and I want to talk a little bit about what I learned. I do not need doom scrolling. So one of the reasons that I was doom scrolling so much is because I wanted to escape. I wanted to escape from my mind. I wanted to escape from my life. For me, doom scrolling offered me an opportunity to numb my mind, kind of turn off any of that noise and focus on the hundreds and hundreds of videos I was probably consuming daily.
All the websites I mentioned encourage the viewer to click and explore, inviting you in to get to know the creator and the different things they really enjoy. It's an experience that encourages you to slow down and be fully grounded in the present and with your own decision making with where you want to click next. Going back to me creating my website, I want it to be experienced in a similar way as theirs. And so the next question I asked myself is, what do I want this new version of my website to have? I still want to have a shop and sell art prints for sure. I hope to one day make an income off my creative work. In addition to that, I want to share my vlogs and include any extra information and resources that didn't make it into those videos. And what if I don't want to make a video for something? I could just make a blog post, or maybe even just a picture and a single note. With my website, I get to have an overall combination of different things for me to share whatever I want. As of right now, I have a homepage, about me page, and a page for my artist vlog and journal. In the future, I hope to add my art shop, a resources for art techniques page, resources for video editing, a page for me to share other artists and artwork that are inspiring to me and could hopefully inspire other people, my monthly music playlist, and whatever else I feel like sharing. I want to have pages that I can organize and have a home for all the resources that I have used to help me in my creative journey and that I'm sure could help other people as well. It's going to be a while before those get made and uploaded though. I need a mental and physical break from thinking about and working on my website. Now let's actually explore my website, dropsofhoney.online. First, we're starting on the About Me page. The page design for this really set the tone and inspired the rest of my website's design. I used Canva to design my whole website. I did not use their feature where they offer a website template that you can then copy and paste the HTML for. I instead designed on a blank template for the correct dimension size and then downloaded a PNG image of the design. At the beginning of this project, I had just switched from Wix to Squarespace, so their platform was new to me. It was during my initial upload of my design onto Squarespace that I faced an issue though. My design was not scaling correctly. I tried both inserting an HTML code block and the PNG image upload method. I was not satisfied with either. The image quality was for some reason kind of blurry and not HD. It bothered my eyes, and it kept cutting off the bottom of my images. I tried watching YouTube tutorials and finding coding tricks. Overall, I felt like I was fighting with the Squarespace platform rather than it being a useful tool for my creativity. If you like a simple template, then Squarespace works for that. But I guess, isn't simple, so I explored other people's suggestions for website builders over on TikTok, and I found out about ReadyMag. People were making very interactive and creative sites with it. However, my dilemma was, can I sell art prints on ReadyMag? And the answer is yes. But let me say this, I did not get the chance to sell anything using a Squarespace site. I never launched a site with them. I made the switch to ReadyMag before it even got to that point. ReadyMag lets you add a code widget connected to a Shopify account for online selling. I have not attempted to use it though. I just know that eventually I can sell things on my ReadyMag hosted website with Shopify. There's some business stuff I gotta take care of before I start selling artwork on my site, and I don't wanna look at building my shop page yet until I get closer to that being handled. Once I get that taken care of, I'm sure I'll make another video about my whole experience with all of that. Continuing with my About Me page. Sorry. Designing this was tough. I wanted to share different aspects about myself, but I was having a hard time trying to put together everything in one cohesive scrollable web page. This is the initial design that I had. It was very much inspired by this image, but I didn't like the way it looked. So instead I decided to make a digital zine using 𝘱𝘳𝘰𝷔.com and Canva. More information on the formatting and sizing of the zine can be found over on my website post about this video. Now check this out. You see how my website looks for a desktop design? ReadyMag lets you have total control over the design for phone screens as well. Squarespace doesn't, and it was scaling everything so weirdly for me from desktop to phone screen. Now for certain background images, I did resize the design elements, and then I was able to upload a whole new image on the phone screen design section that will only show on phone screens and not the desktop design. I love that. Here's my homepage. I wanted to include a couple different design elements and references, a 𝘓𝘪𝘠 aspect with this vector flourish design over the cityscape, with an overpass leading straight to it symbolizing me traveling, plus 𝘓𝘪𝘠 references with the cityscape, bubbles, and nature combined, which then leads to a more magical leaning design aspect with a magical swirling portal, animals and insects, and a flower garden theme, which is the workspace of my dreams for me to sit outside with a picnic blanket and my creative tools. This is one giant image of different elements from my life and things I like, a very idealized version of my outer and inner world. A fun fact, this section of the bridge and city are images I took from my previous vlogs. What's cool about ReadyMag is how you can make elements move and be interactive. I was able to animate the bubbles plus have them be movable. And when you click this one, it takes you to my artist blog and journal page. I organized it into different sections. First is a place for me to highlight my latest video. Then in case people came across my website and don't know I have a YouTube channel, this is a second reminder with my 2025 recap video that also acts as a YouTube channel preview since it shares the different things I do and make and editing styles. The next section is for me to share my latest artwork and sketchbook images. I used 𝘱𝘳𝘰𝘷𝘪𝘥 again to make this. What's great about it is that I get to make certain sections highlighted and clickable with a link to the video or web page that it appears on. And it includes a quick table overview, plus it can be made bigger. The background is an image of my actual work desk. This last section acts as a library for my videos, a blog with resources and extra information I used for that video, and where I get to post anything I want to share related to my creative work. This is a practice post I made. I do wish I could upload a copy of my videos rather than having an embedded YouTube link. Like I said earlier, at any point in time, YouTube could go away or I could have an issue with my channel, but I'll face the hypothetical issue some other time if it ever happens. A real problem that I did face was trying to figure out how to transfer my domain or website address from Squarespace to ReadyMag. In the end, I did go with ReadyMag's partnership service, Ionos, I-O-N-O-S for now. Shout out to my sister's friend for the tech support and helping me figure stuff out and explaining why I was doing certain things. I'll share more information and resources on transferring a domain over on my website for this video's blog post. I've been working on the concept and designing this website since January, which is about 4.5 months of work. I for sure made Pinterest boards of different design concepts that inspired me. At first I was focused on figuring out my branding and my logo, but I don't really view myself and what I do as a brand. It's just the terminology I'm using for now. I feel like thinking about my branding from a viewpoint of what do I want to share about myself and how could the things I do and like potentially help other people, rather than from a viewpoint of what do I think other people want to see from me and be drawn to. Thinking of it that way really helped to shape the essence of what I want my website to be, my design choices, and how I'm going to continue to navigate my online presence by doing and making whatever I'm inspired to do. What really took a hot minute was working on my logo design. My head hurt, I was over it. I currently only have a font-based logo and not an image-based one, but that's enough for now. I love the font because to me it looks like it could actually be the outline of letters written in honey, and I love spirals. Spirals feel magical. The finishing touches for my website included making sure my website is ADA compliant, which means making sure that my website is accessible to people with varying capabilities and disabilities. There are multiple online resources for that. I understand that with the different softwares that people use to read the computer screen to them, a main feature is that the software reads the alt text for an image.
I'm legally blind and I use a screen reader to access my phone. A screen reader, well, it reads out the screen for you.
Google, Calendar, Photos, Outlook.
Just like that. And alt text is really important because it gives descriptions for things that I'm not able to see visually. So here's one example on X.
Mr. Beast and Mr. Beast verified. Just in my first stream, and we raised over $12 million for charity. Most money ever raised in a live stream, open mouth, face bleeding face. 7 hours ago, 4,262 replies, 5,806.
I'm gonna stop it right there. I can hear the post, but if I move over,
Image.
it just says image. I have absolutely no idea what this image is. Oh, and look at this one. This is different.
Image. Selena Gomez wearing a black mask and sunglasses in front of a photo advertisement featuring herself.
Finally, I found an image that I can actually know what's in it. Using social media without image descriptions is like using social media minus all the pretty pictures and all the memes and videos and just using something that's completely text-based. It's definitely not as fun. Adding alt text and image descriptions is super helpful and just makes a world of difference for people who are blind and low vision.
I have a lot of images that are hyperlinked and can be clicked through to view. It is suggested to have a super short and simplified text like artist blog and journal webpage, just so it's quicker for someone to know that this is exactly where the link is taking them. But I wondered how much more inclusive it would be to then follow that up with a more detailed description of the image. So I did try to provide that in the alt text feature that ReadyMag has. I wrote a whole description out and unfortunately I couldn't even copy and paste the whole thing into the text box. I went to ReadyMag's help page and they say it's super limited to 100 characters and I had to really be short with my descriptions even though I really wanted to go into more detail for those who need it. I'm like not making eye contact with the lens. Whatever. Overall, I think starting off with exploring the concept of my brand identity and questioning why do I want a website, what do I want to share, and how do I want to share it really helped to fuel my visions and creative decisions for my website. If you're thinking about making a website that allows for a lot of customization and viewer interaction with a user-friendly interface, I currently recommend using ReadyMag. I really like what I made so far. I feel like I accomplished some of what I set out to do, and this is just the first iteration of my site. Like me and my art skills, I expect it to evolve over time, and I get to have full control over that. Go check it out. It looks great on desktop and phone screens, and check it out whenever to see any new posts and updates I make. And with that, thanks for watching.